Hey guys, so today we're making some cube steak and gravy in the crock pot. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started with the recipe. I have 4 cube steaks that I got from my local grocery store, and so I'm just going to season it with this all-purpose seasoning I bought off Amazon. I'm going to use some garlic pepper, and then I'm also going to use some onion powder. Now, I don't care what seasonings you use, just make sure your food is not bland, because we don't want no bland food, y'all, okay? And so we know we got to season the other side. So I flipped it over, put the same seasonings on there. And then I am just going to coat these in a little bit of flour and like brown it up on the stove. So my cube steaks are nice and seasoned. And then I'm just adding in some avocado oil to a skillet along with some, I can't believe it's not butter, but you can use whatever oil or butter or whatever you got. We just want to make sure that we get these cube steaks nice and browned. I did see a few other recipes that didn't brown the cube steak before they put it in a crock pot. So it's really just a personal preference, I feel. But the idea behind this, and I would usually do this if I were making it on the stove. The flour on here is going to help with your gravy for your cube steak. So again, you don't have to, but um, it can help with your gravy once it all comes together. And so for this crock pot recipe, I'm just going to add in a can of cream of chicken and a can of cream of mushroom. And so I had a bunch of cream of chicken soup or cream of whatever soups from uh, earlier in my pre-op phase or post-op phase, and so it is the 98% fat-free version. You don't have to use the canned soups if you don't want to. It's a personal preference. And so I'm just adding in the same seasonings I used on the cube steak. The only difference is I'm adding in this browning sauce as well as the bouillon powder on here. And so it's the chicken bouillon powder. You can use beef if you want to. And I'm just mixing that together. And then I'm gonna add in some beef broth or beef stock, bone broth, whatever you got. You can add it in there. You can use chicken broth if you want, vegetable broth. It is totally up to you. You could even use water. Just make sure you season your food, okay? And so I'm just gonna add this and stir it all together. And then I'm gonna add in my cube steaks to the crock pot. You can add some onions in here if you want to. I didn't have any yellow onions, and I didn't want to put red onions in there because red onions will make it look ugly. So I opted to not put onions in here. If you got some mushrooms, you can add mushrooms if you want. But this is my first time making cube steak in a crock pot. And I don't know why I never did this before. And so I did forget to add some Worcestershire sauce. And I put a few splashes of that in there. And then I'm going to cook this on 8 hours on low. And it was really tender, you guys. Like, this has been like the best way to cook cube steak so far, because it's just so tender. And I know sometimes people don't like making cube steak because it is hard to get tender. But this was practically falling apart as I was picking it up with the spoon. That's how tender this is. And so this is the finished product. I just served it with some mashed potatoes and some green beans. You can serve it with rice, with pasta, whatever you want. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Again, it's so tender. It's fork tender. A knife is not needed for this recipe. I hope you guys enjoy. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye.